So then Virgil today passes away, 61.
He had some strokes and he had some health issues. I saw him a couple years ago, and we talked for a little bit, and yeah, he's one of those dudes, man. It's just he was always out hustling on weekends and shit, but he was just a genuinely nice fucking guy. Like I've never heard Virgil say a bad word about anybody. Like, and he's one of the guys that when I was I was starting to do single matches on the road outside of working as Sean's bodyguard, and sometimes it'd be 1, 2, 3, sometimes it'd be Virgil. So me and Virgil put together some good little matches, and that was how I started to actually get my push. Was Chief J Strongbow was starting to really enjoy our matches, and he was like throwing shit in to add, and we were doing it, and he said, "I'm going to talk to the Emperor and see if I can't get you guys on Raw." So he talked to Vince, and Vince said, "Yeah." He gave us 6 minutes on Raw. I think it was the first time I ever wrestled on Raw, and had a decent match with him.
But he was tough in the ring, right? I mean, he wasn't a very smooth worker.
He was, but it's just we were perfect for each other at that time because we both knew our limitations. I could try to tear his head off, and he was a good enough athlete to duck underneath it and turn around and hit me with some jabs, and we just played cat and mouse, and did the David and Goliath bullshit, and
Of all people to get the Vincent moniker in NWO, I just thought it was a strange, but maybe because it was strange,
I thought it was to fuck with Vince.
Well, yeah, but of all people that you could have made the Vince image.
No, because if you think about it, this is exactly the problem that we've had in wrestling since I've been in it, is that there's the African Americans, the black man, they're always just shown, especially in that era, they were shown in a shitty light. Like he wasn't that,
Oh, well, wasn't the thing? I'm thinking of this now. Virgil was Dusty's name,
right?
So they made him Vince's name. That's what it was. Right? That's why they did it, I think. Or am I inventing this? Okay.
No, that's what I mean. You hear so many things. All I know that when him and Ted came, it was 2 more WWF guys.
Yeah.
And fucking people popped.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And like I said, on top of that, I'd rather somebody sit there after I was gone and say, you know what, he was a good fucking dude, than say, yeah, he was a dick, but fucking boy, he could fucking work.
Boy, what an arm bar.
Yeah, what a fucking man, that guy.
What an elbow drop.
Yeah, he could really go. It's funny how when you start in this business, you have this. I remember I'd always say, man, like, because you'd sit in the back of a car and there'd be like Black Bart, and Dutch, and somebody else in the car, and they'd be talking territory talk, and you'd be thinking, they'd be, Dutch, he was a pretty damn good hand, Bart. Yeah, he was a good hand. I liked working with him. And so I would always just think to myself, like, I just hope someday when it's said and done, and my name comes up in a car, and there's some guys in there that have worked with me, they'll say, you know what, man, he was a good worker. Like he wasn't stiff. Like that's all I ever wanted, just to be, And then at 64 years old, it's like, no, I want people to think I wasn't like a complete asshole. Which I think the people that know me, I don't worry about.
I think started this whole series with this whole show back was it 2 years ago? Almost
Yeah.
87 weeks ago. And my stiff one of the week selections, I always tried to find ones that were Kliq centric because people always had things to say about the Kliq. But you're right. It was never anybody that you guys were working with
No.
consistently.
So that was, that, and so much of that shit, like when you see the things on social media, that's interviews, or actually you'll see them on YouTube, and you look at it, and it's just like some shit from like '91. That some guy's fucking spewing about you, and you're like, really? Or somebody that's bringing up something, it's like 2 years ago, and they're bringing up something that happened in '91. Like,
Correct.
jeez, I'm not. I promise you, I'm not the same person anymore.
Yeah. Well, that must happen too with you because you go out and you do the conventions and all that stuff. So you run into people maybe that even had a bad opinion or maybe said some shit on a shoot interview. And then if you sit down with them at the restaurant or whatever, it's like a totally different, like they're getting to sit with the person, not the.
Right. And that's the whole thing. I've always said that, just like, I have a very short temper, and I go off, but at the same time, it's just like, okay, that's part of that's a character flaw, but
You know how you knew Oli? You said I knew Oli. I knew what to expect from Oli. Same could be said of you, right? Like people that are close to you, you go, that's
yeah,
Kev. That's doesn't mean everything all the time.